Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we do these free mentoring roundtables week after week after week. This is the 614th roundtable. The event is being recorded, and on YouTube, you'll find all recordings, including this one is going to go up there. 1M1M Roundtable is the name of the channel. On Twitter, we are at 1Mby1M and it's Romana. And hashtag for today is 1M1M. These are the call-in instructions. If you're using the phone line to call in, I will put this back up later. First, we're going to do the entrepreneur pitches. Just setting some expectations. We are completely on your side. This is a safe working session. There is no other agenda but to accelerate your journey. If you disagree with my feedback, that's okay. It's your venture. It's your prerogative to do whatever you want. We're going to start with Swagatika Priyambada from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Swagatika, please unmute your line and tell us what you're working on.
Hi everyone, I'm Swagatika Priyambada. I'm from Bhubaneswar, Odisha from India. And basically I'm the co-founder and CEO of Withstand Fitness Private Limited, which is a one-stop fitness platform for working professionals. So the picture that you saw is basically is not a fat to fit, like fat to thin picture, but it's like unfit to fit picture. So when I was doing my corporate job, I was like a very well settled life in Mumbai. Then I got started getting pain in my fingers, and it traveled all the way to my upper body. And I was constantly in this pain, and I was looking for some solution everywhere, and I didn't get solution which fits my pocket and which fits my time schedule. So finally, I came back to my hometown, and here I met my co-founder Rudanan, who helped me to come out of these health issues. So basically, ma'am, next slide. Yeah, so basically we are trying to solve the problem of sitting job professionals. Basically, they don't have, no matter how hard they try, like more than 80% of them are not able to maintain a regular fitness on a regular basis. There are various reasons. Mostly their environment is very sedentary, and they wanted to achieve a lot of things in, but they have less time. Also sometimes they take very unsustainable methods, due to which they get injuries or cardiac arrest. So 2 in every 10 people get injured while working out in a gym, and about 900 daily death while working out indoor. Ma'am, next slide. So we have basically innovated a training technique which we call as THRV, through which like we help them to achieve their goal in half the time, and it also prevents them from injuries. Also through our mobile application, they can manage fitness from anywhere. Next slide, please. So basically, when someone comes, what we do is we do a fitness assessment where we understand their various like health parameters, and based on that, we develop a training schedule using AI. We have thousands of exercises, and based on their targeted heart rate, we create an training plan for them. Please, next slide. So this kind of training plan is there with the exercise videos and with the rest range. Then next slide. So people can connect, either take this training plan and work out on their own, or they can join our fitness sessions which are live. So for they can join their smartwatch with our mobile app, and there they can monitor their targeted heart rate. So targeted heart rate is that optimal level at which if you work out you get maximum results, and beyond which if you goes, then there are chances of injuries and cardiac. So the app generally keep the people at the optimal level. Next slide, please. So there are other features also. So while you are in the office, it shows pain. It shows which all joints of yours are stressed, and based on that, it can help you in releasing the stress. There are other means there are other things, other community building things in the mobile app as well. Next slide. So basically, we found the market, like we started with Indian customers, but we found that most, like the middle class Indians, are mostly looking for free services, and they are not looking at fitness from a sustainable point of view, but from a more of a beauty point of view. So we found a market fit with the NRI customers, and there are around 30 million NRIs, of which we are targeting the middle class who have an income of 25 lakhs to 2 CR, basically in the age group of 25 to 55 years, and especially in countries like UK, US, UAE, Singapore, and Canada. Next slide, please. So first we started with UK, and here our distribution strategy is basically to go for since it's more of a vertical community, it gets spread with word of mouth, and there are like a lot of events, India events, like in UK around 15,000 people come for such events. So our target is to reach to these big events, and especially the women's group, and spread the word over there. Next slide. So far we have developed our assessment software, and our mobile application is in progress. And we are also building a trainers portal through which our goal is also to provide job to retired sports person in India, because 95% of them drop out. So through the trainer portal, we will upskill them and provide them jobs. We have provided 800 plus subscription and generated a revenue of 16 lakhs. And we have received some government grants so far. Our customer retention is very high. It is more than 1 year. Next slide.
So just a second. You have 800 paying subscriptions right now?
Not in total. So far, for the last 2 years that we have been working, we have given subscription to 800 plus people.
And what is the pricing for the subscriptions?
The pricing is about, if like for NRIs presently we are charging 3,000 rupees per month.
3,000 rupees per month. And that's live training? You actually have a live trainer? And how many sessions?
Monday to Friday, like there are around 20 to 25 sessions per month.
Oh, these are group sessions, they're not personal sessions.
Yeah, both are available. Group is also available, and personal is also available.
So where are you getting the traction? Is it group or personal?
It's more group.
Group, I see. Okay. So for group, you're charging 3,000 rupees per month.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so these are my questions. Basically, like whenever I'm pitching to investors or anywhere, one of the questions that they say that fitness is a very overcrowded space, and the growth is not very high over there. So my question is like, how can I answer this question in a better way? Though I know that there is a lot of potential in the fitness industry, and especially even in India, like I feel the people are getting awareness about it. But like how, like my question is how I can answer them in the better way. And also we do have a social side to our uh, uh, startup, which is as I told, that we are looking to upskill our trainers, sports like dropout, who are sports dropouts, sports person who are dropouts. So we are trying to upskill them also. So should we add it whenever we are pitching to investors? Because many times the investors uh, see it as a, like they want that minimum people are involved, like the operation is easy and less people are there who are moving the company. But for us, employment generation is also one of our primary motive. So these are my two.
This is not a fundable company. Stop chasing investors. Focus on building the business. You are getting traction. So focus on getting traction and building the business. Forget about investors. It is an incredibly overcrowded space. And this is not just Indian competitors. You are now trying to go after the US, UK markets. These are incredibly overcrowded. So there is absolutely no chance that investors are going to take this on. Not anytime soon. So forget all that and just focus on building the business. So let's talk about the business. So I want you to, the social side, whether you pitch to investors or not, these are not the right questions for you. The right questions for you is, how do you build this business? What is the right business model? What is the, how do you grow this business? So I think the opportunity actually is if you can get personal training at an affordable price.
Okay.
So, because personal trainers in the US, at least, are really expensive.
Yeah.
We're talking $75 to $150 an hour. How much do your personal trainers, how much do you charge for personal training?
So we charge anywhere between 8,000 to 15,000
a month.
a month. Yeah.
For how many sessions?
For 20 to 25 sessions.
20 to 25 sessions, 8,000. See, that is what's interesting, I think, in this. It's not group classes that's interesting. What's really interesting is the ability to do personal training. But how are you going to do that? Because the hours are not going to match up. These people will have to train people during, like if I want a personal trainer, I would want a personal trainer at 4 p.m. my time, which is 4:30 a.m. for you in India. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, so basically initially like we started with UK. So for UK, the timing match very well because it is the time when trainers are free in India. So since they are 4.5 hours behind us, so for the morning also and for the evening time also, for the US market, at least we can easily do the morning session. Like suppose in the morning session we can easily do it. Evening session would be little difficult for us. So basically we can find trainers from India also who will be willing to do, because there are a lot of people who like if we can pay them better, they'll be ready to take sessions early morning or late night also.
This, to me, the most interesting thing that you told me here is live personal training at an affordable rate.
Yes.
If you can pull that off, personalized live training at an affordable rate, that is actually quite interesting, because that's I think a lot of people will take it.
Yeah.
And I think you can build a very interesting business that way. That's where I would focus this. Forget about investment. Try to figure out how to do that business.
Yes.
That opportunity lies in everywhere, including in the US.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the feedback.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So actually, like honestly speaking, last few days we have been like, initially we were in that mindset that we will try to raise fund, but we also realized that it's not possible for us to raise funding, and it's better that we grow our company. So what we are focusing presently is the assessment. Since the assessment is very detailed for us, we have done a detailed assessment, and I think it is like a one time thing that people will take, or they might also subscribe that. Here even the trainer involvement is also less, but we will need trainer to conduct the assessment. So we were planning to do spread the assessment, and that would be like a gateway for customers to come into our organization. We'll also get a lot of data, and email marketing also will become easier for us. So
Yeah, but you're going to have to still market that assessment. People will have to find out about that assessment. So
Yes.
there is a huge assessment issue, I mean, customer acquisition issue that you're going to have to address regardless of, whichever business model you go after, whatever, but you're going to have to address the customer. It's a B2C business, so you're going to have to address the customer acquisition, and that's a challenge in itself. So, but that is what you should be focusing on, not chasing investors.
Yes, I agree. And I think it's more valuable to build a company in a bootstrap manner because it helps you to grow step by step. Although
Well,
initially,
see, the beauty of bootstrap business is that if you can show that you are growing in a very fast clip, then you can get in the option of raising investment actually increases. The probability of raising investment increases as you become successful as a bootstrap business. Investors like to invest in de-risked businesses. So the more you can build and the more you can show proof points, the more people are going to be willing to invest in you. So the option of investment is not going away, but let's first figure out whether this business can grow at a fast pace. And if you don't have investors, the pressure on your business to grow very fast is a lot lower. So you can just, just start to put one foot before the other and start growing the business, and then we'll see what happens.
yes.
So, so these people whom you already have offering you subscriptions, subscribing to your sessions,
Yes.
you
So
can start testing. Hold on. You can
yeah.
start testing the personal coaching, personal training on them already. If you can line up the trainers and you can start offering them, your revenue will go up immediately because we already have a bunch of people who are subscribing to group classes. If you can convince them to do personal training, and if you have the trainers on the other hand, you will be able to validate that very quickly. And then I think, it's great if you can bring people in through group classes and then upsell them into personal training. You will see this can be actually a very interesting business.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
We can talk more in a bit. Let me work with Ardi, and
Yeah.
there will be time for more Q&A. Ardi, please unmute your line.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Great. Okay. I'm Ardi Ghorashy. I'm from Toronto, Canada, suburb of Toronto, Canada, Markham. And next slide, please. We are a group of executive coaches, organizational development consultants, management consultants, the 25 years plus that known each other for a while. We came together during the pandemic. And a need that we had identified over a period of time of working with different companies around the globe was that there were a lot of people who reaching to the middle of their career and they get up to the level of a manager or even a director level, which really is competence based and technical competence based, but breaking through those becomes very difficult. And so there are a lot of people who would come and ask us to go have lunch and dinner with them to sort of pick our brains over the years. So this has been sort of brewing in the back, and during the pandemic, we came together to build a program to help these individuals to break through and get to the next level. And initially, we targeted this program to individuals. And if you want to go to the next slide, please. So initially, we targeted this towards individuals ages of 30 to 35, and the people who really want to make a difference in their own life as well as the organizations around them. But most of them are highly educated. A lot of them have already MBAs or definitely university degrees. And so as a result of it, they get stuck and they become disenchanted and leave and keep taking all sorts of other training courses without really producing the results that they want to do. And we identified where are some of those gaps, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So what we found out, and really the really distinguishing factor here is that our experience in leadership development showed that developing leaders, you can send them in all sorts of different training programs and residential programs, 2, 3, 4 weeks or so. And they're good. They come back, they gather some stuff, but 3 or 4 months later, it's gone. And so there is nothing that really stays on. So building that capability and durable leadership competence takes time. It takes practice. It takes reinforcement and feedback. It requires coaching and mentoring. And it also requires fine-tuning the whole person. So focusing on just skills of communication or conflict or trust or etc. is not sufficient. A person needs to be fine-tuned in all aspects of them, physical, mental, spiritual, as well as, of course, the skills of leadership that is needed here. Later on in some of our discussions with various people, we identified that companies will be also a good source to go in order to introduce this into their organizations. The pain points that was identified there from the various researches that we've done is that a lot of companies' leadership programs are not producing the results that is expected. And that's continually being reported through CLO magazines and settings, etc. So these are the pain points that we identified. Next slide, please, Maureen. So our customer validation was that we reached out to the CEOs and the executives we've served over the years around the globe, and we asked them, when you're looking in getting somebody to the next stage, what are the attributes that you're looking for? And we also did all sorts of different surveys and through LinkedIn and various other places. Of course, our own experience of working with various people. And the results that came back, we distilled that, and it fell into that model that you see on the right-hand side. That you got to take persons and take a look at all the various aspects of them, communication, paradigms, planning, contribution, blind spots, habits, and behaviors. That one is being things that you do, like, for example, exercise and meditation and yoga and various other things that are built into the program. The core leadership and management components, put it underneath the head, because we lead and manage through our hearts and limbs. In the middle is the personal brand. So most of the feedback that we received is that if you level up in the areas around the head, your personal brand starts being developed and being noticed across the organization. Next slide, please. So our value proposition is it's an all-inclusive whole person leadership improvement program. There was nothing in the whole of the leadership domain that we left out of here, but we also were very cognizant of not creating a training program. This is a leveling up program. So come in, and in the area of any area, is if you are at the level of 3, 4, and 5, what are all the various tips, etc., on the best practices? A lot of input was from the executives who also shared with us the attributes that they would like to see in the boardrooms. And in our own experience, I've had C-level executive roles myself and very familiar with what we're looking for when we get people to those levels. So it becomes more a question of, if you level up in these areas, you want to take them up from performance levels of 3, 4, or 5 to 6, 7, or 8, or higher up than that. So it was, I'm not going to go through all the details of this, but it's a flexible start. It's 6 months in duration. You can start anytime. You go through your own journey on your own. And then it's a hybrid online delivery. We have 4 different assessments that once done, there is a one-on-one executive coach that walks you through your various assessment results. During the early stages of the program, that's where the self-awareness and understanding of what my personal gaps are gets revealed to the individual. And then for the rest of the time, they are on their own to go through the various stages of the program over the next 6 months. And every Tuesday, we have a 19-minute office hour where everybody comes together and we share experiences, and they learn from one another, network, etc., which people are finding it extremely satisfying and useful in that. So the total addressable market based on our research is there are 331 million individuals in the workforce in the global market. 4% of them are deemed as high potentials, and 39% of them are between 35 and 55 years old. We set and have been selling our program at around about $10,000 US per person. but an average program fee of 8,500. So that's our TAM, about 44 billion. So what else have we done? Executive interviews, as I mentioned, we have had more than 10,000 hours of development during the pandemic. Executive interviews, lots of modules, various other components in there. Customized 360, Growth Mindset Institute. We partnered with Carol Dweck in Stanford and do their assessment, emotional intelligence, and MBTI. These are the assessments that we do, and those results come together in order to explain the makeup of an individual. The program fee is $10,000, 26 weeks, about 160 hours of work. Over that period, we don't force people to necessarily finish in 26 weeks. We provide a guidance of how long they should take. The variable cost per enrollment is about $2,000 per enrollment, and our fixed costs annually are about $150,000. And so far, I have not taken anything out in order to pay myself. We borrowed $100,000 from the Business Development Bank of Canada, and one of our co-founders gave us a loan of $50,000. The total cost of the development, including sweat, has been around about $1.7 million. And we are continuing bootstrapping through consulting contracts, and co-founders at the moment are providing the coaching services at no cost.
So are they these 15 people who have registered to do this program so far?
Yeah.
Where did you find them?
So through our various acquisitions that we had, some through the connections that we had, but we had to go in and actually sell it to each one of them. And the rest of them we found through LinkedIn, and we had a message that we sent either by email or LinkedIn messaging that we sent out to them, and got them on a call, and they registered.
And this funnel that you're talking about, $500,000 funnel, how many leads are you talking about? You're not looking at 100% conversion, I assume, right?
No, not at all. Of course not. Right now, based on our efforts so far of what we're doing, we have a funnel of around about 500,000 that consists of 5 corporate prospects in there. So a corporate prospect, ideal would be to land in there where they can start putting in a certain number of people on an annual basis to go through the program.
Right. Okay, so that's what this is. Okay.
Yeah. So even though we don't compete with business schools, most of the business schools have leadership programs. And so a lot of the people that we've talked to, they always say, okay, there is Kellogg's or Ivy or McGill or whatever. So we did a cost comparison, right, duration for their leadership program, not their MBAs. They all have leadership programs. So what's the duration in terms of hours? What's the cost in them? So what is our sort of dollar per hour based on that? The closest one is MIT Sloan, but you can see it's only a 36-hour development work. And we try and, pitch that, duration and longevity and repetition is what is needed. And the one that comes closest to our number of hours, the 200 hours at Yale, which cost $60,000 to go through it. Of course, we're not comparing ourselves with them. It's a different kettle of fish altogether. But this was put together just from the competition point of view.
Now, what are you hearing in the people that you're talking to, the ones who have registered, the ones that you call the pipeline, these corporates? What are you hearing? What do they like about your program that compares favorably with these other programs that you're comparing yourselves to?
Yeah, so everyone who has gone through our program, finished or in between, they all saying this is an incredibly life-changing, because I learned about myself things that I never knew. And we had a CFO who was in transition. He joined the program. This is a guy who's gone to over the 25 years of his experience, gone through advanced Harvard management program, and has been sent to UK to go to BBC for communications, etc. He said, I was so skeptical when I came on this program. $10,000 was nothing for me as I came on through. But I can't believe how much I have gained out of this program, how much I've learned about myself, and concepts and ideas that I had seen them, somewhere, but they never really connected well together for me. In this program, everything is layered and connected together. So the concepts start from a simple foundational, and we layer on as we go through the program in showing how these concepts work together in order to create the knowledge, the capability, the competence that is needed. So I've included three links in one of the slides earlier on that are testimonials from the three individuals who are on the have gone through the program.
So what I'm hearing is that you're going to have to put somebody like this person who has gone through, and maybe the testimonial is enough. I don't know. I haven't looked at the testimonial, but it's going to require convincing people, because it is again, it's a crowded field, right?
Very much so. Yeah.
Not just the universities that you're competing with. There are
No.
tons and tons and tons of programs like this. So at some level, it seems to me that the B2B strategy is a better strategy.
Yeah.
Just because, it is going to be a high touch, long sales cycle effort to convert anybody. So may as well convert an HR department and get multiple people into the program, as opposed to, So then comes the question, what kind of corporate clients do you go after? Have you thought about that?
Yes, absolutely. And these are the five that we're talking to have come out of a list of a number of 500 clients that we sort of started working with. So ideal size is companies that have a minimum of 1,000 employees and higher up. And we spent $35,000 last year and went to Chicago to the CLO exchange, where they put us in front of 10 leadership development buyers at companies, at 10 different companies who come all, and we sit in front of them, and they all have over $1 billion in revenue. And we found out that every single one of them found our program absolutely fascinating. None of them bought from us because they all, we are a new entry and non-proven. And so that was one aspect of it. Price was not an issue to anybody.
I would spend $35,000 on stuff like that.
Say it again?
I wouldn't spend $35,000 on something like this. That is a wastage of money. For a startup, for an early stage company, that's not how you spend your money.
Yeah, so it was a hard lesson to learn. But as we entered into the corporate market, we said, the best thing to do is to sit in front of 10 buyers who've come there to buy leadership programs. So it was a validation on many levels for us. But yes, I agree with you.
So that's not how you're going to go to market. How are you going to go to market? What is your plan now of going to market?
Well, we're still going to continue working on the individual sales. It's to some extent, once all our success so far has been with individual sales. And so there's two ways to go after that. One, through these individual sales to get introduced to their corporations and companies. And the second one is to try and find those VPs of leadership development and just knock on their doors until we get a meeting with them.
And the individual sales that you're doing, how are you doing those?
So as you can see on this slide, we have the sales navigator that we filter the people that we want to go after. And we have an AI tool, and we do drip messaging to them. We have an external business development company that is helping us as well. They do drip email campaigns for us. And also we are working on some text and video messaging ads to go on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well.
No, that doesn't sound convincing to me.
Okay.
I think the biggest weakness in this whole pitch is you don't have a customer acquisition strategy.
Okay.
And I think you're feeling the impact of not having a customer acquisition strategy.
Yes, and none of us are salespeople as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is going to be. There's a strategy missing here. There's process, but there's no strategy. because companies with $1,000 plus in employees is too vague a segmentation. I almost feel like there needs to be a much deeper and much more precise segmentation to get to companies that have some characteristics where you come in and your program is a good fit. Like, is there some kind of a vertical segmentation? Where are you seeing traction? These 15 individuals, is there a job job title where you're getting traction?
So we have some familiarity which industries not to go after. Anything to do with information technology, IT telecom is a really good industry to go after. There's a lot of individuals, there are a lot of opportunities there. Financial industry also, some degree in the insurance industry. We've had varying degrees of success with food and beverage industry and an interest in that area. So we do have a sense of specific industries that we can go after. So far, our target market has been US, Canada, and UK and Ireland. And we've got one customer from Ireland, one from Netherlands, one from UK, and the rest are from the US, and I think 2 from Canada.
See, my take is that there is a very large number of people in the 40s, 50s age group who are stuck in individual contributor roles and have never made it to
Right.
management roles.
Yes.
And if you can flip that barrier and help them get into management, that unlocks their careers. And I think that's one of the sweet spots of a program like that. Now, the question is, can you do that? Does your program have the ability to do that?
So we believe it totally does, because we actually targeted for that age group and for that purpose. And everything that we put into it was about how do you level up to become ready to step into the more senior leadership roles.
Yeah. So then your go-to-market strategy needs to go after individual contributors. Are you going after individual contributors?
Yes, totally. Only after the individual contributors. Yes.
Only after the
On the individual acquisitions, of course.
For the individual acquisitions, yes, that's right. That's right. Now, in the corporates are different. You have to go after the heads of HR or heads of leadership development. That's different.
Yeah.
But on the individual contributors, and then what kinds of companies are you going after? Like, where are these companies? You're talking about UK, Ireland, blah, blah, blah. But when you go after individual contributors in the US, for instance, where are you going after? Whom are you going after?
So again, it comes out through the filtering of, age groups and size of the company and excluding some industries. So we basically get a hit of, let's say, 200,000 individuals that we can target.
Through LinkedIn, the Sales Navigator.
Sales Navigator, LinkedIn. And then from there, we do another further look into individuals. So we spend time in looking at their LinkedIn profile, their experience, where are they, etc. There is a filter in there that says how long they've been in a specific role. So that's another factor that we also build in. It narrows down that if you've been longer than 7 years in a role, especially if you've been a director and you've reached more than 7 years in the current role,
but
it becomes a painful.
You're contradicting yourself.
Okay.
I just told you go after individual contributors, and you're talking about director in a 7-year role. A director is not an individual contributor.
Okay, so what we identified, why directors are included, is that rising up to the director level is easy. Going beyond the director level into the VP level is the breakthrough that needs to happen. And that the reason for that
There's
is
much fewer of them. There are a lot more individual contributors who've never even made it to manager level. I think
yes.
that category of people are incredibly frustrated.
Okay.
That is an incredibly frustrated category. And there are many more of those.
Okay.
So I would go after that.
Yeah. So the other challenge that we have is that, we've created a program that on the surface looks like just another leadership development. So one of our challenges
but the advantage of going after individual contributors like we're talking about who are stuck is no leadership development program goes after them. So you're not going to be compared with a lot of executive development programs because nobody's going after these people. So these are generally frustrated people and nobody's going after them. So if you change your sales navigator targeting to target just these individual contributors,
yeah,
and help them break into the manager level, that's where I think you have a very interesting audience of people who are underserved. Nobody's going after them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you
Great.
for that feedback. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Folks, I'm going to explain to you how to use 1 million by 1 million. I have a request. If you like what I'm telling you, I am telling you absolutely cut and dry what works, what doesn't work. In my opinion, obviously, you can discard that opinion. But if you want absolutely unsugar-coated, straight up feedback, that's what we offer you here. So if you like that approach, please spread the word. Everything.
Can I ask a quick question?
Afterwards. Hold on.
All right.
All our resources are at 1Mby1M.com. So go there, you will find everything there. You'll find a blog that is very rich. You'll find the Entrepreneur Journeys book series is another way you can start, learning. It's a case study based book series. You will find you are reading Entrepreneur Journeys. Great. These roundtables happen week after week after week, so you can come as many times as you want. I often see people coming back and you can ask me questions. You can pitch only once for free. If you want to interact with me and actually work on your project on a weekly basis, join the premium program. That's where we offer you extensive methodology guidance. We have a full curriculum, over 3,000 hours, all case study based, where we have contacts, we help you with business development. This kind of strategy consulting happens on a weekly basis. If you are fundable, we will send you to investors. We help you become fundable if your business has those characteristics. We do work with hundreds of investors. So all that is part of the premium program. The assessment is available on the blog, on the website for free. This is the due diligence questions that investors are going to ask you. You are the most important investor in your company. So you should ask yourselves these questions. Have you been able to answer these questions? Are these strategic elements covered? Bootstrapping is at the heart of our methodology. We do not tout blitz scaling from the get-go. We are not the Y Combinator type of methodology. But if you follow our methodology, you could potentially get into Y Combinator by getting a much stronger situation, which Y Combinator might then embrace. If you go to Udemy, we started working with them about 2 years ago, and we have now contributed about over 70 courses. So that's also a good learning starting point. We have very rich material there. They're very reasonably priced courses. Maureen, could you provide the link to our 1M Udemy courses from our blog, where you will find coupons to these courses? So the coupons offer you 85% off on these courses. So they're very, very, very reasonably priced. You can definitely start your work there. Or you can go to 1M by 1M Basic on our website, and that's curriculum only $99 a month, and you can also learn the curriculum there. So all that is very extensively described on the website, you know, what to expect from premium, what to expect from basic, FAQs, video FAQs. The curriculum is described in depth. It's a case study based program. The entire curriculum is case study based, and you really meet the who's who of technology entrepreneurship through this program and get to learn from them. Investor introductions, there is a policy. If you're coming here for investor introductions, please go over this investor introduction page. Our methodology is do not go to investors as beggars, go as kings. Bootstrap first, raise money later. And that's it. We have 3 sessions in August. Now, these spotlight sessions are guidance. Anybody can pitch in any session. So these, you know, spotlight entrepreneurs from Bihar, Assam, Central India will get some preference, but anybody can come, anybody can pitch. We are ready for more questions. So I know, Ardi, you wanted to ask something else. Please go ahead.
Thank you. And I just wanted to ask a very selfish question, since what I talked about is fresh in your mind. Are we in a place that by joining your program, your premium program, you think that it will be helpful to us, will help us working with you on a regular basis?
Immensely. Where you are, you would get immense amount of help. Just what I did in what, 10 minutes? Right now, I gave you very specific guidance on where to position the company. So yes, a year of that, yes, it will help you immensely.
Okay. I'll sign up from September going forward.
All right. Anybody who has questions about the program, please contact Irina Patterson. She knows everything about the program. She'll be happy to answer. Irina at 1Mby1M.com. She can also do phone or WhatsApp with you. Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes, no?
Yeah, so I have a question. So basically, I wanted to understand regarding how can I do marketing better for my product. But basically what we are doing is in UK we got some leads and then it spread on its own in an organic manner. But reaching out to those people sitting in India, it's very difficult. And when we do digital marketing, the cost of customer acquisition is very high. So it becomes like kind of difficult.
Mostly companies at your stage would need to do guerrilla marketing. So you have to find a technique through which very precise targeting. We have to find very precise targeting and then accordingly find, you know, guerrilla marketing techniques with which to acquire customers. And I will be happy to work with you on that. If you decide to work within the program, I would be happy to help you with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Where do I find information for your program, for signing up?
Online, go to the website, 1Mby1M.com. Everything is there.
Okay.
Immensely easy to find everything on the website. So that's what I said. Everything is on the website. Harsha is sending me a private message. Glad to know about your work and shall engage more. That sounds great. Anybody else? Any other questions, folks? Maureen has put in the Udemy courses with coupons on the public chat, so please feel free to use that. All right, well, it looks like we've answered all questions and tackled everything that was on the scheduled programming, so we'll see you next week. Take
Wonderful.
care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.